Welcome, friends. It's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is another art journal page that I want to share with you. I'm having so much fun just playing and practicing different techniques. I'm just going to drop some Distress Oxide color on my page. I'm using Twisted Citron, Ripe Persimmon, and Villainous Potion. Love this combination together for Halloween type themes, which this is. And I'm not worried so much about the ink blending as I am just getting the colors on the page. Because with all the techniques I will use, they're going to blend in quite nicely together as I progress on this journal page. And my art journal page is cut to 4.5 by 6, and this is Canson XL watercolor paper. And I will add my journal hole punches afterwards. Used my heat tool to dry this panel before moving on to the next step. I just placed some water in my hand and splattered that all over my panel, and then I'm going to use my heat tool to dry this off, but first I used my paper towel to get some of that excess off. Okay, I took the pad out of my Misty and we'll just place this in my background in with magnets, and then I'm bringing in the stamp, and with this stamp I don't, because there's nothing, a picture on the back to guide me, I am going to pick this up with the door of my Misty. But then I'm going to place, I'm going to stamp it on this acetate panel that I have, because I want to make sure it's kind of lined up or in the right position. And you see how crooked it is. So that's not going to work. Let's erase that or remove that ink. I used a little ink cleaner to remove the stamped image from my acetate, repositioned my stamp, and I'm stamping again. And I can see that I'm liking this better. So now I can remove my acetate, clean it, and stamp directly on my inked panel. I started inking with my archival ink and wasn't getting the impression that I wanted, and switched to my VersaFine Clair or VersaClair Nocturne ink, and then because it's a hybrid ink, it's going to stay wet longer. So I'm going to bring in just some clear embossing and emboss over that ink. The archival ink on the watercolor paper just wasn't doing it, so I had to switch gears. Right? Okay, so I did not use my anti-static powder, so again, I had no clue that I was going to be doing what I'm doing. But that's the thing about when you're crafting. Sometimes you do have to switch gears midstream. Bringing in some white texture paste and stencil, a web stencil, and we'll apply that over a few areas of my panel. I'm going to set my panel aside to dry and immediately place my palette knife in some hot soapy water and clean that up later. Do you enjoy crafty playtime where you're not working on a specific project? It's kind of hard for me to do, but I am going to try to do more. I'm using my archival ink to ink up the edges, to add some highlighting and just a more finished look. I've placed a little white acrylic spray on my mat and using that to color in my moon. Just trying to lighten up the color of the moon because I painted over that without well, I should say I painted underneath it, and I want that to be white, so I'm just using that and then adding some white splatters to my panel. Using my archival ink to stamp just some text and some numbers on my panel randomly. Off camera, I went ahead and added my hole punching. I'm using my archival ink to ink up some ghost that I've die cut, and I'm just inking around the edges to make those more smoky looking, and then I will go ahead and glue these to my panel, and then I'll start working on my sentiment. Inking up the edges of my sentiment with the archival ink, and then we'll go ahead, add some liquid glue, and affix those directly to my panel. Even though this is a sticker sentiment, I want to make sure that it does not, that it's stays put. My quote on a wonky angle. Bring in my black gel pen just to add a little bit of highlighting on the bottom left of each ghost. I also make the eyes black with my gel pen. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the video. And if not a subscriber, will subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Until next time, good day, friends.